Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off Sunday's Pick 5 at Santa Anita with stakes action on the lawn. The Santa Barbara's at a mile and a half for fillies and mares. It's 100 grander. Let's take a look at this field. We've got 7 in here, including the much improved number 3, Duvet Day, who has found her stride, stretching out in distance. She was third last time out in the Santa Ana, going a mile and a quarter. You could argue she's even more effective going this mile and a half trip.
I do think that's a fair argument to make, Dan. Really impressive, I thought, winning 2 starts back, going this exact distance. And she ran fine last time. That might be a little bit short for her, though.
Let's throw up the time from US pace projector because Duvet Day is more of a one-run late closing type. And we see her near the back of the pack with the LP designation. She has the fastest late pace rating on Timeform US. Exit Soul should show speed, stretching out from the inside post. A lot of class questions, a lot of distance questions, a lot of surface questions. She'll be a price.
Yeah, she'll be a price in here, I would think. She's only 4-1 on the morning line. There's a real chance that she makes the early lead in here. And then we'll see how far she can take it, Dan. She obviously needs to take a pretty big step forward, though.
She'll be making her 3rd start of the year. Here's her maiden win. First time blinkers. They shipped her up to Golden Gate Fields. They tried the Tapeta surface. She was able to just walk on the lead, 25 and 50. That was just too much for this overmatched group as an odds-on favorite. It's all about, stamina and class for Exit Soul in this race. I agree with you. I would need a little bit more than the 4-1. She's very well connected and well bred, though.
Yeah, she is. And even though this race, the maiden was on a different surface, her turf form is obviously fine. So you don't have to worry about her switching back over to the grass again. They're just asking a lot of her here, and she's not a great price on the line.
Some class concerns for the 2, Jibber Jabber as well. She was claimed for $25,000 3 starts back. She almost got it done in a $50,000 starter allowance. This race going the mile at Santa Anita last time out. We see her swing to the outside. She got wired in this race. She's taken a big step up in class. She's taken a big stretch out in distance. Maybe she can get closer to the early pace.
Yeah, this is a pretty game finish here. She has a real shot to win this race, though, I thought, Dan. She just can't quite get there. Nothing wrong with that performance, but it doesn't make me want to bet her in this race.
Duvet Day is the number 3, very, very experienced at a mile and a half. She won the Astra 2 starts back. And then in the Santa Ana last time out, she got some pace. She lingered near the back. She swung to the outside, and she came with a little bit of a run. One more stride, and maybe she gets second from Queen of the Temple. It's all about whether she gets the right setup because she'll stay the trip.
Yeah, the distance is actually a real benefit to her, it feels like. And it is just really all about trip force. She doesn't really have a lot of positional speed. So she just sort of sits at the back and tries to come to the outside and make a big run through the stretch. It's been very effective for her at times, again, including that race 2 back in the Astra. I was really taken by that performance.
The number 4 is Scarab B, and she has shown hints earlier in her career for Calumet Farm that maybe she could be a graded stakes type. She just never really got over the hump. Her most recent race was her first start of the year. It was about a 3.5-month layoff. It was at Golden Gate Fields in an allowance race, and you see her down towards the inside here. She's going to try to sneak on through. The rail will get shut off. She gets to the outside. She runs on at the end. She got wired in a relatively slow-paced race. I think from a fitness standpoint, she gained a lot from this.
I do too. And she probably had a fair excuse in this race, Dan, just, not being able to really get clear with any kind of time. So that race is fine. She has some other races, going back that make her really interested in here. Personally, I've always really struggled with just trying to decide what to do with this race. I really liked her early on. I kind of feel like she never panned out. I could never be right on her on the days that I did better. And I've just sort of lost interest in her now, but I can certainly see her being a factor in this race.
Can improve second off the layoff, getting a little bit more distance. She's fine with that. Queen of the Temple still eligible for a non-winners of 2 life, but she's run very well against stakes competition. She was out hoofed by Astra going a mile and a half, then just held on for second in the grade 3 Santa Ana last time out. She saved ground in the early part of this race, was sort of buried on the rail going into the second turn, but she got to the outside, and once she gets into the clear, she just kind of grinds her way up for second.
Yeah, just grinding here. She is going to get second. That's not bad. That's Duvet Day, who's coming to her outside, who will just fail to catch her for second in this race. I guess she ran fine in there, Dan. The race 2 back in the Astra, she did make the lead in the stretch. But the more I looked at that race, the more I watched it, the more I just felt like she had no excuse that day. Duvet Day just ran a lot better than she did. And I think stretching back out to a mile and a half, I'd rather have Duvet Day than this horse.
John Sadler sends out the 6 Sayside. Maybe she just needed her last race, going a mile in the Grade 2 Royal Heroine. It was her first start of the year. Like many European horses, she took a little bit of a stutter step leaving the gate. I'm worried about the distance. She was a stakes winner going 7.5 overseas. She's got a strong European pedigree, but it's not like they were really stretching her out over there. She was more of a middle distance type.
Yeah, they never went super long with her over there, but they were getting her out in distance towards the end of last year. And I feel like maybe those are the races that she was really kind of meant for. Obviously, she kept really good company over there. And now that they've switched her over here, Dan, she didn't do a ton of running last time going the mile, but it's not like, she's facing a bunch of killers here as they stretch her back out in distance. I think with a slight step forward, she could really factor in here.
I thought the 7 Zeyaraat was a solid allowance horse in the Mid-Atlantic region when Michael Pino had her in 2021. I'm kind of surprised to see her here in a graded stakes race, especially since last time out at Turf Paradise, she fell far behind after a slow break and then was able to get up for fourth. There are distance and class concerns stepping up out of that allowance race.
Yeah, not that easy to make a case for. I wouldn't be too hard on her for the last race. It was off of a really, really long layoff, but she's still got a lot of improving to do.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the first leg of the pick 5 at Santa Anita on Sunday. Mike, you're going to go with Sayside Distance. Thinks this is what she wants to do second off the layoff. She's got the pedigree for it.
Yeah, and I also just feel like this is the right kind of spot maybe to take a shot with her. Dan, I'm not really against Duvet Day. I think she's the horse to beat in here. I'd much rather have her than the 5 Queen of the Temple. But I could try to beat both of those horses if Sayside's the right place.
I think you will get the right price on Sayside. Duvet Day is where I'm going to go. I think she'll kick on in the stretch. I don't want to take anything less than 5-2, and I might have to. Santa Barbara, one of 2 stakes races scheduled for grass at Santa Anita on Sunday. Good luck.